The Somerton man case is one of the most mysterious and baffling unsolved puzzles in modern history. For over 70 years, the identity of the man found dead on Somerton Beach in South Australia in 1948 has remained a complete enigma. From cryptic codes to unexplained disappearances, the case has sparked wild theories, endless speculation, and extensive investigations, yet no definitive answers have emerged. This case, often referred to as the Tamam Shud case, continues to intrigue and confound true crime enthusiasts, amateur detectives, and armchair theorists alike. The discovery of the Somerton man. It all began on the evening of December 1, 1948, when a passerby discovered a man lying on Somerton Beach, located near Glenelg, just south of Adelaide, South Australia. The body appeared to be that of an adult male in his 40s, dressed in a brown suit, a white shirt, and a tie. There were no signs of a struggle, and there was nothing about the scene that suggested foul play. The man was lying on his back with his legs extended and his feet crossed, a somewhat unusual position for a person who had simply collapsed or died of natural causes. The body itself was well dressed, but the circumstances were odd. There were no identification papers on the man, no wallet, no ID, no money. The tags had been removed from his clothing, making it impossible to trace his origin. Investigators were left with little to go on in terms of identifying him or explaining how he ended up on the beach. The only clue was a small scrap of paper found in the man's pocket. It contained two words, Tamam Shud, Persian phrase meaning ended or finished. The Tamam Shud clue, a mysterious code-death phrase. Tamam Shud would become the key to unlocking some of the deepest mysteries of the case. When police began to investigate further, they discovered that the scrap of paper had been torn from a small book of poetry known as the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam, a classic work by the Persian poet Omar Khayyam, which was well known in the early 20th century. Upon searching for the matching book, authorities found a copy of the Rubaiyat in the glove compartment of a car parked near the beach. The book contained a cryptic handwritten code, which appeared to be a series of random numbers and letters. The code was written in the back of the book, below the Tamam Shud label, suggesting that it was intentionally placed there as a clue or puzzle. The discovery of the book and the code raised many questions. Was the code a message that could help identify the man? Or was it a piece of evidence pointing toward something more sinister? Despite exhaustive efforts to decipher the code, experts and cryptographers were unable to determine its meaning. Some believed the numbers could represent coordinates, names, or even a secret cipher, but no conclusive interpretation was ever reached. The cryptic code remains one of the most baffling aspects of the case, and it only deepens the mystery surrounding the identity and the fate of the Somerton man. The mysterious death, was it murder or suicide? While the cryptic code and the Tamam Shud clue were perplexing, the question of how the man died remained unanswered. Initial autopsy reports revealed that the Somerton man had died from poisoning, but the exact poison used could not be identified. The absence of any physical wounds or injuries on the body led authorities to speculate that the cause of death might have been a deliberate act of poisoning, possibly self-administered, though homicide could not be ruled out. Some experts hypothesized that the Somerton man may have ingested the poison unknowingly, perhaps through a tainted cigarette or food. However, forensic tests showed no traces of common poisons, such as cyanide or strychnine, nor were there any signs of an overdose of barbiturates or other drugs. The mystery of how the poison entered the man's system remains unsolved. In the years following the discovery of the body, numerous theories have been proposed to explain the cause of death. Some have suggested that the man may have taken his own life in an elaborate and cryptic way, possibly due to personal or emotional reasons. Others believe that the man was murdered by someone involved in espionage, given the secrecy surrounding the case and the cryptic nature of the clues found. One particularly intriguing theory is that the case could be tied to the Cold War. Australia was involved in intelligence activities during this time, and some believe that the Somerton man could have been a spy or a secret agent whose identity was deliberately erased. The lack of identification and the coded message might suggest a connection to covert operations, and the method of death poisoning could be consistent with the types of methods employed in espionage or elated assassinations. The unsolved puzzle of the Somerton man's identity. Over the years, the investigation into the identity of the Somerton man has been pursued by both police and amateur sleuths, but none have succeeded in uncovering his true identity. Several potential leads have been explored, but they have led to dead ends or raised even more questions. One of the most famous leads involved a woman named Jessica Thompson, who was living in Adelaide at the time of the discovery. In the early 2000s, it was revealed that a woman named Jessica had been linked to the case, with some speculating that she might have known the Somerton man. In fact, a relative of Jessica's had reportedly come forward and suggested that she might have had a connection to the man, possibly as a lover or someone with knowledge of the mystery. When investigators dug deeper into Jessica's past, they found more perplexing connections. Jessica was said to have lived near the location where the body was found, and there were rumors that she may have had connections to a family that was involved in espionage during the Cold War. However, no concrete evidence was ever found to establish her involvement in the case, and her possible connection to the Somerton man remains one of the many unresolved threads in the mystery. Modern investigations, DNA and forensic technology. In recent years, new advancements in forensic science have reignited interest in the Somerton man case. In 2011, the South Australian police decided to reopen the investigation, seeking to uncover new clues that might lead to the identification of the mysterious man. The police had the body exhumed, and scientists conducted DNA tests on the remains. Unfortunately, the results of the tests provided little new information. The DNA analysis confirmed that the man was of European descent, but it did not lead to any matches in the database. Despite the lack of breakthroughs in DNA testing, forensic experts have continued to analyze the evidence, including the cryptic code in the rubaiyat and other materials found at the scene. Some have suggested that new methods of forensic investigation, such as digital analysis of the code or further advances in DNA technology, may eventually crack the case. Theories and speculation. As with many unsolved mysteries, the Somerton man case has given rise to a variety of theories. The following are some of the most prominent. Espionage theory. The theory that the Somerton man was a spy involved in Cold War activities is one of the most widely discussed. Some suggest that he was a foreign agent, possibly from the Soviet Union or another country, whose identity was deliberately erased to prevent any diplomatic fallout. The coded message and his mysterious death by poisoning fit the profile of a covert operation. Murder theory. Another possibility is that the Somerton man was murdered by someone who wanted to keep him silent. The idea that he may have been involved in something shady, such as blackmail or illegal activity, has been suggested. The lack of any personal identification could indicate that his death was part of a larger cover-up. Suicide theory. Some believe that the man took his own life, perhaps as a result of personal despair or an unresolved issue. The method of death poisoning and the cryptic nature of the clues left behind may suggest that he wanted to leave behind a final message for someone, possibly a loved one or a colleague. The Jessica Thompson theory. As mentioned, some have speculated that Jessica Thompson, a woman from Adelaide, had a connection to the Somerton man. It is thought that she may have known him or had some involvement in the events leading to his death, but no conclusive evidence has ever been found to support this theory. Alien or supernatural theories. While far more speculative, some people have even suggested that the case could involve extraterrestrial or supernatural elements. The bizarre nature of the clues, the cryptic code, and the unexplained death have led to some outlandish theories, including the possibility that the man was involved in something otherworldly. The case today, the mystery of the Somerton man, remains unsolved, and despite the passage of more than 7 decades, the case continues to fascinate people around the world. Every new revelation, no matter how small, renews interest in solving the puzzle of who this man was and how he came to die in such strange and unexplained circumstances. Though the exact identity of the Somerton man remains elusive, the case serves as a reminder that not all mysteries are meant to be solved. Some puzzles, no matter how intriguing or complex, may remain just that, unsolvable enigmas that continue to stir the imagination and spark endless speculation.